This video is entitled Maintenance, Parts File, Import New Part. This video will describe the procedures that should be used to import a part from an electronic catalog. Before beginning to import, make sure that the electronic catalog that you're going to use has been launched and is running in the background. On the bottom of my taskbar down here, I have Traser SX running. To install a new part by importing it from an electronic catalog, we need to locate a new part icon. And normally when I'm importing parts, I'm going through the parts file, looking at the parts that I have in my system and making sure that the one that I have is not already in here. So I'll find a new part icon someplace in this vicinity that I want to use. So I'll highlight this one and I'll click on Create New Part. Now you can also double click on that if you choose to do that, that's fine. But in this case I'm just going to go through the normal process of creating a new part. The program pops open the new part form and it's already got a part number in here, but I'm not going to worry about it because the Traser program will create the new parts for me. So I click on Import. The program pops up a little form that tells me the Traser link is active, and I can click and highlight and launch the Traser SX program by clicking it right on the taskbar. However, since some of us like to hide the taskbar in our system, they don't want the taskbar there, they want it to automatically pop up. When you move your mouse to the bottom, it's not going to pop up because this form has got control of the screen. So I'm going to give you a trick that you can use. If you hold down your alternate key, this is a Windows procedure, hold down the alternate key and with your index finger on the tab key, click the tab key. You'll see that it pops up a list of all the active programs that you have running. And as you continue to hold your alternate key down and click your index button, it allows you to go through and put the square around the item that you want to pop up on the screen. So if I wanted to use this to pop up my Traser SX, I would click it, I would get the square around it, and then I would release my alternate key, which is what I'm going to do. If this is down here on the bottom, you don't have to go through this process, all you have to do is click it. So I'm just going to release it. Now I'm in Traser, and I'm going to import this network cable that I've already found the location for. And one thing I want to make sure that you understand is we can import multiple items. So if I wanted to import both the 23.4 blue data cable and the Cat6 cable that's down here, I can highlight both of them. And for this exercise, we're going to go ahead and highlight them both and import them both. Once I've got them both checked, I have check marks in both of them, I click on Export and Link Export, and Traser goes out and does its thing. Eventually it pops up this little box that says Open With. I'm going to say OK, and the program gives me a message saying it's been copied to the clipboard, and I can close this form. And I can now go down to the WinTRF estimating icon down here on the bottom screen, or I could have used the square button to get over to import part. I'm not going to do this. In this case, I'm going to show you what I would have done. I click here and I go to import part. Now I have my cable already brought into here. It's already created a part number for me, a DCI number. The manufacturer has been added to the manufacturer's table. So all I have to do is do job cost information. So I'm going to select computer cable and connections, and it's already got unit of measure of 1,000, and I'm going to say it goes into the rough list. And now all I have to do is put a labor unit on it, because Traser does not export the labor units. Now if I'm a NECA member, I can use Traser's labor book for the NECA book that is already included in Traser and go find the part, or I can find the labor unit from some location, some standard manual, a means book, some labor manual that tells me how long it would take me to install 1,000 feet. Let's just say that my guys are good, and I don't have any knowledge of what it would take, and I'm not sure that 10 hours is a good hour, but I'm going to say that it takes 10 hours to install 1,000 feet. That sounds like a reasonable amount. 2 men, 5 hours to install 1,000 feet. Maybe they can install 1,000 feet. All they got to do is throw it across the ceiling. So now the way we do the labor units is, if it takes my men 10 hours to do it to install 1,000 feet, how many for a standard value, or for a change order value, or for negotiated value, I need a value that is higher than what I use for my people. So what I normally do is I put in 20 hours in my standard field and I hit enter. The program automatically calculates labor level 2, 3, and 4 for me. And then in my multiplier field I put a 0.5. Now in my bid value I've got 10 hours per thousand, which may be reasonable, may not be reasonable. This is just an exercise. You'll have a better idea of what it takes your people to install it. So now I've got that in here, and I can go verify my material price. The standard material cost is $497. It brought in the target price and put it in my bid material net field. All I have to know is whether my bid material net field is reasonable compared to my buy price. If it's not, I can come in here and change the bid material net field to something I need. Once I'm satisfied with how this is set up, I click the OK button, and since I imported 2 items, the program automatically brings me up the second item. I just got to go down here, and I'm going to clock the program, and I'm going to go material list is going to be rough, and now I'm going to my labor hours. I'm going to use the same labor hours here that I used for the other one, and I look at my material price. Now my material price is correct. I click OK, and I'm done. I can minimize the Tracer program, and I can go back and save this value and close this up. Now if I look on my screen over here, I don't see where that item came in. But if I go out and I refresh my branch, I still don't see it. I'm going to go now. Here's something you might do. You want to get out and come back into the system and see. There's my data cable right there, and it brought me in my data cable and get my commodity in. There's my index. There's the 23.4 and the 23.4 Cat6 cable. And in the next video, I'll describe how to modify the indexes and use the indexes. This completes the video: maintenance, parts file, import new part.